You got some people that have been in your life that you have confided in. And they use the actual things that you held dear or you held sacred, and they use it against you. And it almost feels like blackmail. That's what it feels like to some. I know it did to me. And people will take your temporal circumstances and they'll say that's who you are. That's the totality of who you are. You gave them a part of your story. Who knows the whole volume of your story? You do, because you were there. You don't allow people, I don't care who it is, family members, friends, husband, boyfriend, you don't allow people to take your story and tell your own story. You have to take responsibility, and you have to take possession of your past, present, future, your good, bad, ugly, and your dirty. And you tell your own story. What inspired me to write this book? Which I knew for years that I would be writing a book about my life, writing a memoir about my life. I knew this for years, but part of me wanted to do it and part of me didn't want to do it because at the time I wasn't healed. And I didn't want to face and remember all the things I had been through because that's what it would take to write the book. Didn't want to confront past issues and things like that. But what catapulted me, threw me in this place to write it? I was in a relationship and I shared very intimate things about my life. It was a very unhealthy relationship, and that was used against me. It was thrown up in my face during arguments. The individual even went as far as exposing some of my information on social media. Dug up on stuff on me concerning my past and the abusive relationship that I was in, that I told them about, and threatened me with my own past. So guess what? I had to make a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going places to help people regardless of how you look at me. He looked at me in a very low place because I was in a season that I was really going through. Never make somebody feel like shit when they're going through a low season. Because the lows aren't always lows. Eventually, those lows become highs. But when you're in that season, it feels like the high is never going to come. It feels like the sunny days are never going to show up. So what did I have to do? I had to take things in my own hands. I said I'd be damned if I allow someone to tell my story. So what did I do? I took possession of my past, present, and future, good, bad, and ugly, and my dirty. And I said, if anybody's going to tell a story about what the hell I done been through, I'm going to tell it. You will not have the privilege or the satisfaction of telling my story and distorting my story. You will not benefit from my story either. Because if I put it all out there myself, what can you threaten me with? Nothing. I took control. I took my control back. That's what I did. No one will ever threaten me with things I've been through in my past ever again. Ever again. And that's what you got to make up in your mind. Not even yourself. Take control of what you've been through. Take control of it. I don't care if you have to write in your journal. I don't care if you got to do a podcast. I don't care if you have to do a live on Facebook, Instagram. And I'm not saying you have to go public. You can write it down first. You can write it. You can journal it. You can create a story. Different characters, be a ghostwriter. Get your story. Don't let anyone take your story and the things that you've been through and use it against you. You take control of that. Because if you put it all out there, what can anybody say? What can they say? What can they say? And for the ones that, I'm not saying you have to put it out there. Sometimes just writing it out is therapeutic. That's power as well. Because in order to write it out, that means you got to face it from an emotional, from a spiritual, from a mental place. You have to face it. You have to acknowledge it. This may even encourage you to confront people. That's a part of your story. Forgive people. That's a part of your story. Ask people to forgive you. That's a part of your story. We are no longer allowing anybody or anything to threaten us with the content of our lives in the past, present, or future. Take control on who you are. Take control. I'm not what the hell he says I am. I am what the fuck I say I am. That's how it works. What was happening is I had somebody that threw me up under the bus because I was living in an apartment, $3,000 a month apartment with no furniture. I was barely being able to put food in my refrigerator. And I was honest and open and transparent enough to allow them to see that. And that was thrown in my face. So I was coined as a piece of shit because of that. And you would think a man would say, hey, if this is you want a woman I want to be with for the rest of my life, then this is my opportunity to show you that I can provide. But instead, it was used against me. I shared things from my past that was detrimental, such as, the abuse I had been through in my past, all of that. And that was used not only was it thrown in my face, but I was also threatened with it, where he put my stuff, some of my information on social media. That's what was going on. But what was happening was I was evolving to another place. I was evolving to a place of tenacity. I was evolving to a place where I took on the spirit of fury in reference to the forecast of my life. I took control of it. And I was more determined than ever. I was more determined than ever. I was left in shambles. I was called a broke bitch. Oh yeah, I got it all. But you know what? I had to make a decision. I was told that I was sick in my mind for the way I thought because of how I think. But now people pay me for the way I think right now. The way I think manifested things around me, changed my whole paradigm in my life. Don't allow anybody to ridicule you about where you are in your life. Because where you are in your life is the illusion, it's the smoke and mirrors. It is temporal. Because a lot of people will talk to you like that's the fabric of your character, the fabric of who you are. And guess what? They, in their minds, think that that's where you will always be. They have a reprobated state of mind. Because if they really felt like, in their minds, and how they think, and how they perceived you, if they felt like you were going to be great, do you really think that they would spend the time and the effort and the virtue to verbally tear you down? No, they wouldn't. Because they got a saved face, because they know one day you're going to be signed to the NFL. That's an obvious. But when somebody can't see the forecast of your future, they assume that where they found you is where you're going to stay. And that's not the case. That is not the case. I don't mind exposing what's been my past shame so you can appreciate my shine and have hope. I don't mind telling y'all what the hell I've been through. I don't mind telling you because I'm not there anymore. I don't care who's minimized you with their mouths. I don't care who's put you down. I don't care who's talked about you and dogged you out about your circumstances. That's what's going on. All those things that I mentioned earlier was what was going on in my life. Went through a financial slump out of nowhere. It hit me blindsided. The very person I thought that would have my back emotionally completely threw me up under the bus and justified it, which is fine. The only thing you can do is respect how people feel and what they think. I can respect it. But guess what? That's not what I'm claiming for my life. I've been discounted. I've been dissed. I've had people treat me like I was beneath them to even get a hello and a thank you. It's all good. It doesn't rain every day. And that's what people don't understand. It doesn't rain every day. And it rained a lot of days in my life, don't get me wrong. But the sun got to come out one time or another. And that's what I look forward to. So what did I do? I was dejected. I was devastated. I was depressed. At that time, I even had suicidal thoughts. It was the most brokest Christmas I ever had in my life. And the most humiliating Christmas I ever had in my life. But guess what, guys? There was something that sparked on the inside of me. And I asked the question, I said, why am I going through all of this right now? What am I supposed to get out of this? What am I supposed to get out of all of this? And what I got out of it is this. Everything around me, everything that transpired, everything that had me feeling low, everything that had me feeling like I was nothing, everything that was going on around me, circumstances, the way people were treating me. I'm here to tell you I came to an epiphany, and that epiphany was this is not who I am. My circumstances is not who I am. But I'm thankful for my circumstances, because my circumstances is content that's going to confirm who I am. My circumstances became the content that confirms who I am. My circumstances became the content that allowed me to speak in people's lives, and my words carry life because I've been through stuff. Your circumstances are your content of confirmation of the forecast of how you see yourself in the future. It's the confirmation of who you are in the future. I feel like walking away from this laptop and running around my whole neighborhood, because that's even an epiphany for me. Circumstances become the content and the confirmation of who you are in the future and the quality of who you are. Hope you guys hear me, because I'm not playing. See, everybody that discounted me, they looked at me as my circumstances was who I was, who I am. Oh, that's her. That's a totality of who she is. That's why I can't give her no respect. There was no respect, no reverence there, because my circumstances to them was who I was. Circumstances, who she is. No. My circumstances is content and confirmation for who I'm going to be. That's where I'm at today. Not in the same place. This Christmas, I'll be spending Christmas in Milan, Italy, this Christmas. I no longer have to worry about putting groceries in my refrigerator. I love where I'm living at now. People pay me for how I think. As fucked up as they thought my mind was, people like it, and they pay me for how I think. Because how I think and what I give and what I say carries the energy of life. The stuff that I've been through, that's what makes my words, allows my word to carry life. Everything that I was condemned about is the content and confirms who I am today. That changes your reality. It changes your reality around you. And when you begin to look at your circumstances as content, that's going to confirm the forecast of who you are in the future. It completely changes the whole paradigm of your life. I'm a living witness. The man in my life right now, I'm amazing to him. He treats me like a queen. He speaks words of encouragement to me. He speaks life to me, accepting me for my good, bad, ugly, and my dirty. But the beauty of it is, the woman that he's receiving today, he's getting the best version of me. Because after the fire, I was the last entity standing in the fire of my life, pure as gold. And while I was trying to build up another situation, another man, trying to give him a crown, he let me down. But another man of merit is wearing that crown. And another man is benefiting from the labor of love. All these people that you've sold into, all these people that you've helped, all these people you forgave, all these people you've given second and third chances to. Don't ever think that what you do is in vain. Because if you trust the universe, God, Spirit, however you want to call it, if you trust it, I promise you, the reward is something that you would never guess in a million years. Never guess in a million years. A lot of things in my life, I keep hush hush. And I keep hush hush for a reason. Because I just want to savor it. I just want to enjoy it. But when I tell you the things that I have gotten, the people that have been placed in my life, people that I just couldn't imagine, that celebrate me for me and celebrate all the fucked up shit that's happened in my life, because they say, man, this is why you are who you are today. They get it. Put people around you that get it the first time around. Don't have people up close and personal that don't appreciate you and can't see you past the fucked up season you're in. Because if that's all they see, then they're not even worthy of being in your life once the storm blows over. Those are fair weather friends. Those are people that are in your life based on contingencies. But when you feel in your worst and somebody can still see the best and then still speak the best in your life, and say, hey, I know you're here now, but this is the forecast I see for your future. That's the kind of people you have in your life. Those are the kind of friends you have in your life. That's the kind of man you have in your life. That's the kind of woman you need in your life. Somebody that can see who you are, past, present, and the future. I said, I'd be damned if I be with another man that can't see the forecast of who the hell I am going to be down the line. And don't speak to that and nurture that and edify that. I'd be damned if I have friends in my life that can't see the forecast of who I am and who I will be. I'm trying to help some people. I'm speaking heart to heart. No, this is not structured. I ain't trying to be structured right now. I like where I'm at. I love how I think. And there's been enough people to confirm the way I think is all right. Ain't nothing wrong with thinking future tense. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you're going to make it there. Because if you don't think future tense, how are you going to arrive? When is your arrival? You're never getting there. You're never getting there. Hope this encouraged you guys. By just speaking from the heart. Just want to encourage all of you. Past, present, and future. Good, bad, ugly, and dirty, dirty. Your circumstances are content to confirm the greater person you are in the forecast of your future. You know what it is.